Also, there's lots going on with our partner venues at Christchurch, the Museum of Oxford, History of Science Museum, the Western Library. So yeah, there's heaps going on Saturday.
Get radio breakfast with Rich Smith.
Really looking forward to catching up with the next guest, Sarah Lacey from the Story Museum. We've got two things to talk about: Alice's Day, which is happening this weekend, and also the Story Arcade. Sarah, good morning to you.
Good morning, Rich. How are you?
Yeah, very, very hot, if I'm being honest.
It's hot, isn't it?
It really is. It really is hot. But we'll move across from that because everyone is hot.
Let's not think about that.
Yeah, we'll be moaning it's too cold tomorrow. You know what we're like. Well, look, it's a very, very, it's a big day for the Story Museum on Saturday, yes. And for everyone that just absolutely adores the wonderful, wonderful books around. It's Alice's Day as well. Just explain to everyone who maybe a little bit like myself, actually, who kind of sort of roughly know what's going on, but in just a little bit more detail about it all.
Well, Alice's Day, essentially we celebrate the first telling of Alice in Wonderland. So it was 160 years this year. She's reached a milestone since she's been published by Macmillan. So, but Lewis Carroll, essentially on a weekend in early July, 160 or so years ago, took Alice Liddell out on a boat, along with, I think it was a couple of her sisters and some friends of the family, and told her this amazing story. And she loved it so much that she begged him to write it down. And then it became published, and it changed children's literature forever. So we celebrate Alice's Day. It's the first Saturday in July to be as close as possible to that first telling of the story. And the whole of Oxford becomes a wonderland. So it's coordinated by us at the Story Museum. And we have a fantastic day down at the museum. It's half-price entry to the galleries and to Small World, but also there's lots going on with our partner venues at Christchurch, the Museum of Oxford, History of Science Museum, the Western Library. So yeah, there's heaps going on Saturday.
Brilliant. I love it. It always astounds me the history of Oxford, and just when you sort of say, oh yeah, 160 years ago, you kind of go, oh wow, I didn't even realise, and such a beautiful kind of organic way of literally what was happening 160 years ago. I'm going to take you on a boat on a river, in the beautiful surroundings of Oxford, and tell an amazing story, and that story has been brought to life in amazing films, still an incredible book, and is still the theatre of imagination for young and old 160 years later. That's amazing.
It is amazing. And I, when you think about it, I don't think any other children's story has had such this, such a far-reaching influence on fashion, on films, even food. So it's really incredible. It's had this massive influence, around the world, and people come from all over the world. I met people from a family had come from Spain, especially to Alice's Day last year. So it's a global phenomenon.
yeah, and something as iconic as that, and the different kind of interpretations of it, everything about it can kind of, but to use a perfectly good analogy, can lead you down a rabbit warren in a very different way.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I think. Yeah.
It's an amazing way. You can watch it from a very, very. I think we all probably read it as a child, and maybe watch the early film as well. Just kind of a combination of that, and then had your own perceptions of it. And then as you get older, the kind of the underlying undertones kind of get a bit skewed, and interpretations become a bit more adult, shall we say, with certain things that are happening and going on. But that's probably why it stands the test of time. That's probably why 160 years ago it was this amazing story, and still is now, and can still be enjoyed by young and old at the moment, and people still come over from Spain to enjoy it.
Yes, exactly. I think that's the thing. It's something that appeals to children, but then there's lots that we identify as grown-ups. Like you said, we've all disappeared down a YouTube rabbit hole, for example, and it's sort of it's that sort of that's part of his writing that's influenced modern day lexicon. So yes, it's a story to appeal to everybody, I think, for modern times and past times.
No, for sure. Yeah. I know you did sort of touch on what's going to be happening on Saturday, but in terms of details, sort of normal opening hours, obviously half price entries and other bits happening, yes. You mentioned as well.
Yes. So there'll be lots happening. So that we'll be having. If there's one thing, we'll be revealing our Snarks and Riddles board game. That's been designed by our young story curators, who they've been coming weekly during term time to work with our production crew. They're a bunch of young people aged 11 to 16, so they'll be introducing this amazing it's a full-size immersive board game that you can sort of step into. Wow. And that's been inspired by Lewis Carroll and the worlds he's created, so we're really excited to show that to everybody. There'll be face painting, there'll be a giant Wonderland tea that you can come and enjoy, tea and cakes, and on traditional those tiered cake stands.
Oh yeah, classic. Love them.
Amazing them. Yes, put together by a fantastic cafe team who just work wonders. And there'll be a new trail celebrating, as I mentioned, the 160th anniversary since Macmillan published Alice in Wonderland. And then around town we've got our Red Queen, that's Curious Company, that she'll be kind of charging around Oxford, so you'll spot her along with some giant playing cards. And there's plenty happening at Christchurch. There'll be croquet. And there's an amazing event actually. They're doing, it's called a Magic Lantern Talk. So Magic Lanterns were sort of Victorian. It's like a projection device. So the days before Netflix, you gathered around the Magic Lantern and watched these incredible Magic Lantern slides. So some of them were sort of hand painted and made these beautiful sort of lit projections. So that would be definitely worth taking a look at.
Lots going on. It's going to be a big day, and people are looking forward to that. Sure, and I'm sure if people wander over to the Story Museum website, they can see all the details and
the full program is up on our website now, so you can see. So lots of the things, the talks around Western Library are free. Some of them you have to book in advance. So I'd encourage people to go and look at our Alice Day website page, and you'll see it all there.